All right, everybody, welcome to Teaching Crypto. AZ Crypto here on the road. Hurricane caused me to evacuate, but I'm here. I wanted to get this show out to you. Please hit that like, subscribe, bell notification. Super chats are available. Listen, a lot is going on. A ton is going on. A couple things. Right before I went on the air, it has been announced that the U.S. government is set to sell 69,370 Bitcoins. Now, will this happen tomorrow, next week? I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't think they announced this unless they're planning to do it soon. So I still think 80K is not that far away. You might think I'm nuts. We've been down since last March. I get it. But right now, here's the thing. We're sitting at 62K, a little over 62,235. I don't know. That's the price. I really do believe that um, after this U.S. government sell, things will finally heat up. And if I was the U.S. government, I would do some research, watch shows like this, and know that now's not the time. Right? You want to sell in a couple months in December, or heck, sell March of 2025. And if the bull run gets that far, November of 2025. But selling now doesn't make a lot of sense. But the government does a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. Let's just be brutally honest here. So this would be one of them. So if we do see some selling pressure down to the 58, 57K, you know where it's coming from. Again, this is not going to destroy Bitcoin. No, it might halt. And again, I'm still looking for 80K. If not, remember, promised, I would shave my head and I'm going to stick to that. So I still expect an 80K by November 1st, but we're going to have some work to do because it looks like the US government is intent on selling some Bitcoin. Now, could they wait and do it later? Possibly. We'll have to wait and see. Now, there is some good news. FTX is set to redistribute 16 billion in cash to its creditors. Some of that will definitely go into Bitcoin. How much? I would say at least half, minimum. So that's good, and that's happening this month. And so, if the U.S. were to sell some of the Bitcoin now, okay, maybe they're not doing all of it, but this FTX is very bullish, and that should happen within the next 1 to 2 weeks. So that's great. So that's going to help. You're going to see some Bitcoin being bought quickly. I wouldn't be shocked if you heard of Michael Saylor buying Bitcoin again. I think everyone expected things to pick up. We got to 66, went back down. Maybe some people had some inside info on this news that the U.S. government was selling Bitcoin. I'm not sure. Now, on top of that, tomorrow, supposedly, HBO is supposed to, and I say supposed to because I don't think it's going to really happen, reveal who Satoshi is. I believe this is more of a marketing stunt. I don't think they have the clear evidence. I think they have an idea who it is, and they'll release that. But I don't think they have 100% collaborating evidence to give who Satoshi is. But interesting to say the least. I don't think it's going to affect price. But today, Supreme Court did say, hey, U.S. government, you can sell that 69,370 Bitcoin seized from Silk Road. We'll see. I don't think they're all going to sell it at once. That's not been the case, but we might see some selling now. And once they've announced that they've sold it and they announce that they're not going to sell all of it now and maybe later, then I think you're going to see things finally pick up. Again, the world is not in a great place, but I don't think anything is stopping Bitcoin right now from finishing this bull run. And I know it's been paused for a really, really long time, but I don't think we're done. I don't think we topped off in the low 70s. Again, I still believe this, and I keep saying it, 80K first, then 100. But before that, we got to establish the 65, 70K region as a region of support. It's got to happen. And it's got to happen sooner rather than later. So this is where we at. We've been waiting since March now, and I do believe October eventually would be a green month. I just think it's going to take a little bit longer. We're April. We're October 8th now, and we're still trying to get the engines roaring and seeing if Bitcoin can finally take that next step. And obviously, the alts are just kind of sitting there, right? Unless you launch an alt meme coin, it does well for 24 to 48 hours. Everything's just kind of blah. I think in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we'll see the 70K first, and then we'll see the 80 And then I still am holding hope for 100K before the end of the year. My target top for the bull run, 125 to 150, three trains of thought. We could have a huge explosion over the next 30 to 60 days and top off before 2025 at 120 to 150K. It could happen, and this is probably the more realistic, by next March of 2025. And the latest I see, if you look at all the data and the past of this bull run lasting, is November of next year. So that would give you about 12 and a half months. Litecoin's just sitting there, Mr. Slim. Thank you for being one of our regulars. We talk about all the alts right now. If you believe me, and I know some of you do, that Bitcoin will get to 80 and then make a march to 100, 120, picking something up like Litecoin at 65, actually 65, given how negative the price has been, that's not bad. You pick up Litecoin right now at 65. I could see Litecoin getting into 150 when Bitcoin does well. That's a 2x. But again, there's other stuff like iOS Network, Injective, and Carrot that I'm higher on. Even Solana, I think eventually will roar to 300, and you can pick it up right now at 144. ETH, I'm thinking 5 to 10K. But again, none of this can happen until Bitcoin takes its rightful place in the market. So that's got to happen. And I do think after the U.S. government happens, this FUD with HPO tomorrow goes by. And my prediction is you're going to hear Michael Saylor bought more Bitcoin before the end of October. Now, what's interesting is we do, as Mr. FOMO used to say, normally have a holiday hole sometime in the Christmas, time span where Bitcoin does go down. But October 8th, we've got some time here. I know it's tough. And some people have given up. Some shows have given up. We haven't, Mr. FOMO has been dealing with a lot. This is the second hurricane that's hit in my general area. So I'm not even home right now. And it's kind of caused the ability to do the show to be a little more difficult. So if you could support the show by hitting that like button and most importantly, sharing. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. We appreciate all your support and we look forward to doing more and more content. So by the way, Voyager people, we've reached out, haven't heard of a definite timeline, still looking at 2025 as the next return. And we'll see if we can get whole. The goal is to get 100% by 2025 if you're a Voyager person. But look for Bitcoin hopefully to make a move. First, we got to establish 65K for support. And once we get to 70K and we hold that 70K, I think things are going to look great. Now, I do not see this lasting. Okay. We're not going to have a super cycle. There will be a bear market in 2025. I know it sucks because we've been in a mini bear, but the good news is good days are ahead. So let's do this. Let's make sure that we keep it locked right here because I'll be here and I can't wait to do that show when we get to 100K. And hopefully Mr. Foam will be able to join me. If his house holds up, let's pray for him. And let's keep our fingers crossed, guys. I just want to do a quick episode here. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. And look to see what happens. We'll keep you updated. But once the U.S. sells the Bitcoin, the U.S. government sells their Bitcoin that they announced today. And once this HPO FUD, which I believe is FUD, about who Satoshi is, wears down, I think next week, I'm hoping we can get to 65K first, and that has to happen. But definitely by the end of the month, I'm looking for Bitcoin to make a run at 80K. I'll be right here if I'm dead wrong. Guys, thank you so much for supporting the show, and I will see you later. Have a good one, everybody. See ya.